Welcome to Mystic Realms Recap. Links are in the description below. Please show some love of the author and me. On to the show.
In the evening, there was still an hour before the ignition. Let me tell you about the process. 10 minutes before the ignition, the power grid will be connected to the grid. 3 minutes later, Zijin City will cut off all thermal power, external power, and wind power, and the whole city will go into darkness. Bing introduced the ignition procedure to the audience. As the first ray of flame burns from Zijin City, the first beam of light will also light up from Zijin City, which means that mankind will enter a new era. So excited! There is only the last hour. In the Lifetime series, I'm afraid it will be difficult to see a second such scene, haha. Thanks to the scientific researchers in the motherland who have paid silently behind the scenes, they have given us a better life. Yes, these talents are the ones we should pursue. They are the real idols. Bah, don't insult them with the word idol. They don't care about fame and wealth. From now on, I want to educate my children and chase after these researchers. Stranger, you should also thank yourself and try to live your life well. Power station control room. There are 2 clocks on the wall, one showing the time and the other showing the countdown. The time above is slowly passing, and everyone's mood is getting more and more nervous. There is a red ignition button in front of Zhou Ping. As long as you press it, the flame that symbolizes the new era will be ignited. Zhou Ping touched his pockets tightly. As long as this nuclear fusion power plant is successful, the people who participated in the construction this time can spread to the whole country to help build more nuclear fusion power plants. This time, when building a nuclear fusion power station, many people followed suit. After all, this is a very important technology, and it must be foolproof, so they did not rush for success. They chose to build a power station first, train more professionals, and then promote it nationwide. Steady step by step. Your plan is very good, and the matter is of great importance. You must ensure that there will be no problems in every link. Lu Shogwa said seriously from the side. By inside, this moment will definitely be recorded in history, and Xiaoye will also be written in textbooks. Yiming laughed and said, I'm afraid not only his name and deeds will be included in textbooks, but also in history books and military history. Lu Shogwa smiled slightly. Guess, can Xiaoye get in there? Jin Jianjun's eyes lit up when he heard the words, and he said confidently, it's enough. If the Wanfeng Sky Mothership is completed, he will definitely enter that palace. When everyone heard the words of the Supreme Being, they knew that they must be stable. They have no doubts about the progress of the Wanfeng aerospace carrier. In Jiangnan shipyard, at this important historical moment, everyone is still busy. In the 300,000-ton shipyard, a giant is quietly taking shape. It will also represent a great moment. Everyone remember, 10 minutes before the ignition, we take a short break to witness together the important moment in the history of our Yanhuang. Caillou communicated with all scientific researchers at the same time through the latest military capsule phone. Who wouldn't want to see this moment? In each workshop, the researchers turned on the TV. Xiaoye's contribution is too great. Lu Cheng sighed. He doubted Yi Bai at the beginning, but he didn't expect that Yi Bai's achievements are getting higher and higher now. The person next to him nodded approvingly. Yes, he alone promoted the development of the entire Yanhuang technology. It's amazing. Controllable nuclear fusion. The significance is too great. In the workshop of the mothership ecosystem, Iroha rolled up her hair by her ear, and that handsome sunny face flashed in her mind. It seems to be unrequited love. She was slightly lost in thought, but then she quickly restrained herself and regained her composure. Countdown for half an hour. The power grid is ready to be connected to the grid, and everyone will do the last check. Zhou Ping quickly ordered to go on. Lu Shogwa tapped the capsule phone behind his ear and contacted Wang Kameng. Let all the brothers get 120,000 points of energy. This critical moment must not be destroyed. Yes. Wang Kameng was wearing the Dark Dragon armor and immediately contacted the team members participating in the defense and the soldiers of the Zijin military region. Everyone is more closely inspected, and no one is allowed to approach the power station. Far away in space, some people silently paid attention to this moment. In the Yanhuang space station, The astronauts looked in the direction of the motherland on the blue star through the window of the space station. Yang Wei, you said, we have mastered the controllable nuclear fusion technology. Does it mean that we have entered the era of interstellar travel? Emoli looked at Yang Wei, who was watching TV. Although the signal in space was delayed, he could not be organized to watch the live broadcast. This is a signal sent by the country specifically for them, so they can only see round brains. Of course, controllable nuclear fusion technology is the basis of space travel. Only by mastering this technology can we have energy for space travel. Yang Wei replied without turning his head. After all, in this boundless universe, the artificial sun is the most basic energy source. Controllable nuclear fusion is too important, so there will be such a big battle. Although it was originally developed as a Ryan giant anti-gravity fighter, it is an important technology that is indispensable for human progress. Countdown to 10 minutes. Grid connection starts. Following Zhou Ping's order, several power grid switches slowly turned. The TV footage showed those huge electric switches. Dear audience friends, we have seen that the grid connection has already started. When the switch is closed, it means that the time for ignition is getting closer. With the sound of click, everyone's heart beat heavily, and the merge was completed. F***K. I'm getting more and more excited. I don't know how the friends in Zijin City are feeling now. It's so cool. Okay, what the hell? I can't wait to ignite it immediately. Come here, take me and burn it, first to help everyone. 666 brother is a werewolf. Countdown 3 minutes. Cut off all power station connections and turn off the fire at the thermal power station. Suddenly, the entire Zijin City was plunged into darkness and all the light disappeared. The entire noisy city suddenly fell silent. The original power stations are all closed. People took to the street one after another, wrapped in moonlight, waiting for the great moment in 3 minutes. Seen from the space station, a small area of the huge Yanhuang country suddenly lost all light in an instant. Come on, come on. Emoli clenched her hands while Yang Wei stared intently at the live broadcast. In the control room of the power station, use the backup power. Zhou Ping's trembling hands are placed on the ignition button. His eyes were fixed on the countdown. Bing Bing still worked hard to explain to everyone by moonlight. We see that Zijin City has entered a state of silence, and the power grid has been completely cut off. This means that the era of thermal power has completely passed. Let us wait for a new dawn to rise. The countdown begins in the control room. The hearts of the people across the country are also counting down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 superscript 2. Shouts resounded from all over the country. 1. Fire. Zhou Ping pressed the ignition button hard. In an instant, the original calm, dark nuclear fusion device. With a array of human progress was lit, and then the entire nuclear fusion device was quickly ignited. Huge energy surged out in an instant. The energy is filled extremely quickly, and the sound keeps rising. All of a sudden, surging electricity rushed to the entire Zijin City through the power grid. In the silent Zijin City, sudden, a light came on. It's bright, it's bright. The people in the family jumped up and cheered instantly. In the next moment, the light of this lamp, like a single spark, instantly ignited the entire grassland of Zijin City. Let all families in Zijin City be bright. Boom! The entire Yanhuang kingdom cheered and thundered. Molly in the space station also cheered when she saw the light shining again in the darkness. Ha ha ha, it's done. Yang Wei, the controllable fusion power plant has successfully ignited. Yang Wei also showed a smile, full of excitement. There was also cheers in the control room of the power station. We made it, that's great. Nose. Ha ha ha. Everyone hugged each other, and some even cried excitedly. Everyone can understand that they have worked hard for so long, worked hard overtime, and finally paid off. Yi Bai has left a strong mark in this era. Supreme Existence gave the highest rating. Outside the power station, a large number of people watched from afar. When the power station first lit up, they jumped up for joy. Bing Bing excitedly pointed at the relit street lamp. Once upon a time, ancient humans learned to use fire, which allowed humans to enter a civilized society. Fire represents the symbol of human progress and is a symbol of civilization. Today, the Yinhuang kingdom has mastered the fire of the new era, the technology of controllable nuclear fusion. This ray of fire is like a kindling, which will eventually ignite on this land, which represents us entering a new era. Let us remember those people who silently contributed to scientific research. They created this flame. They are the creators of this era Ming. Congratulations to the successful fire of the first controllable nuclear fusion power plant in Zijin City. Let's rejoice at this moment in human history worth celebrating. Now, celebrate with everyone. After the controllable nuclear fusion power plant is completed, what will be the price of electricity has become a hot topic on the internet. Netizens didn't have to wait too long to know the answer. The next day, the Zijin municipal government issued an announcement. Zijin city government has decided that from today onwards, the whole city will use electricity for free. The secretary of Zijin city excitedly announced through the TV station. According to our discussion, we originally planned to charge a symbolic price of 1 cent per unit of electricity, but now it is directly changed to free of charge. You can go back and tell your parents, don't worry about using electricity. From now on, you won't need to pay for electricity. Holy shit, cool. I thought it was a dime once, or the special size is too conservative. Am I reading that right? Damn, it's free? It's really free. Yeah, it turned out to be free, haha. Who will dare to say that I use electricity indiscriminately in the future, and I will turn on the air conditioner at 16 degrees in summer. If you want to turn on the lights at night, turn on the lights. I told my parents just now, they still don't believe me, haha. Thanks to the motherland, prosperity and strength. I don't know who invented the controllable nuclear fusion technology to benefit mankind. I really want to see that person. I want to give birth to a monkey for him. Those who gave birth to monkeys in front stand behind and line up. Because the raw materials for nuclear fusion are almost infinite, the cost of electricity is almost zero. And one fusion power station per city is enough. Routine maintenance is also simpler than thermal power and nuclear fission power stations. There are no long lines to maintain, and the cost is reduced. There is also no need to worry about pollution and material transportation, import, and other costs. It only needs to allocate a little money from the local government to household the local power grid. The news that Zijin City has free electricity bills has made people in other cities envious. Moo, hurry up and popularize. I also want to use the electricity I want to use. 260. If our electricity is also free, I will watch horror movies with the light on in the future. Brothers, I have already replaced all the electrical appliances in my home with electric ones, induction cooker, rice cooker, electric water heater, and no gas at all. F***K brother, you saved a lot this time, so I'll buy it too. In the past, gas was used because it was cheap, but now that electricity is free, who still uses gas? In the future, Yinhuang gas will not need to be imported, and it will be self-sufficient directly. At noon, Ying Jiang satellite TV broadcast the news. The country will build 100 nuclear fusion power stations, and it is expected to realize the popularization of nuclear fusion power stations in the next year. At that time, all thermal power stations will be closed and wind power stations will be canceled. 1. Compared with the previous 100,000 power stations, this is simply unimaginable. 100 to 100,000. And 100 nuclear fusion power plants are still productive. With the addition of nuclear fusion power plants and maglev vehicles, we will soon be able to achieve carbon neutrality and truly make a huge contribution to the environment of Blue Star. Zhou Ping stood outside the Yingguang nuclear fusion power station in Zijin City. Yingguang is the name chosen by the people of Zijin City for this very symbolic human being's first controllable nuclear fusion power station. Take the meaning of the light of Yinhuang. Haha, it won't be long before the army equipment of the maglev series will come out. Liu Shogua is in a good mood. Magnetic levitation is more energy efficient than conventional motors, with better performance, extremely low energy consumption, and extremely high energy conversion rate. It also requires less energy than an anti-gravity engine, so it is very suitable for civilian and army vehicles. Anti-gravity is more suitable for aircraft, the thrust is too large, and the difficulty of shrinking is not as effective as using magnetic levitation. It happens to be more than a month before Chinese New Year, so there are so many happy events. CCBC, haha. This is the year of Yanhuang's metamorphosis. Eagle Sauce's 1st Fleet and 9th Fleet slowly headed towards Ayrshire Sea from their respective jurisdictions. Joseph, how long will it take for you to reach Lanhai? Admiral Dowles of the 1st Fleet, on the aircraft carrier Heiken, contacted Joseph, the commander of the 9th Fleet far in the east of Oil. Oh, dear Dowles, I only need half a month at most to reach Lanhai. The 9th Fleet implements the Far East strategy all the year round, deterring the Oil East and Maoxiong forces in the Blue Sea. Powerful and full of combat experience. Dale smiled. Then I will arrive at Lanhai first, and I will definitely not need you by then, haha. Hell, Dowles, you gotta give me a reason to go on vacation. I miss the neon girl. You don't get it all done. Joseph protested, dissatisfied. Dales took a sip of the red wine and said lightly, No, Joseph, this mission is not easy. That guy Michael didn't reveal anything. We only know that he was forced back by a fighter jet, so we still need to be careful. Joseph didn't care and said, I won't be as stupid as Michael. At that time, the fleet of the Neon Kingdom was nearby, and he wanted to try it out himself. He idiot. Dales laughed and said, As expected of you, I thought of it with me. I will arrive in Lanhai a week later, and I will visit the Neon Kingdom first. They must be involved. This is a very useful thug. Joseph said darkly, Don't forget, there is still that simple curved island, which can also be used. A week later, the 1st Fleet of Eagle Sauce came to Lanhai and directly interviewed Neon Nation. This group of guys must have some kind of conspiracy. Lu Shogwa's tone was cold during the online meeting of the chiefs of the 5 Yanhuang military regions. Now with the capsule phone, they can easily establish online contact. Yiming's face was serious. This time it's Dales from the 1st Fleet. This guy is as vicious as Joseph from the 9th Fleet in Ying Jiang, but he's not as easy to deal with as Michael. Ying Jiang said disdainfully, Come on, we are no longer the Yanhuang of the past. What big waves can a Dales make? I'm afraid he won't succeed. Bai Yin nodded. We are not afraid of them, but they have a lot of tricks. They are disgusting, and they are good at using public opinion. Huang Rinyu, commander of the Huadai military region, said in a deep voice, All monsters and ghosts are paper tigers in the face of absolute strength. Lu Shogwa frowned slightly and said in a cold tone, If they dare to come, we will completely defeat them. Neon Country. Dales entered the Prime Minister's office with his adjutant Jack. Welcome to the respected Commander Darth to visit our Neon. Please hurry up. Nihong's Prime Minister at the time, Yamamoto, bent over and shook hands with Dales. The attitude is very kind. Dales shook hands with him casually. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, for your hospitality. I am here this time to discuss something important. As he spoke, he gestured to the people around him. Ascending Yamamoto immediately understood. You all go down first, Minister of Defense Oda stays. Hi. The surrounding officials evacuated immediately. Dales suddenly grabbed the woman who was about to retreat. She can stay. Say it with a meaningful smile. Ascending Yamamoto immediately smiled and said, Naturally, she stays. Ha ha ha. Dales walked into the Prime Minister's office laughing. That's why he prefers direct private visits rather than formal conversations. It's more fun that way. It's too boring to face the flash. Late at night, Dales, who was drunk enough to play, was helped out of the Prime Minister's mansion by the adjutant and went to the hotel where he lived. As soon as he arrived at the hotel, Dales recovered and didn't look drunk at all. I like Neon Country. It's really good. It seems to be still reminiscing about the deliciousness just now. The adjutant Jack smiled. General, you are really smart. I'm afraid the Neon is going to kill you now. Dales laughed and said, I just gave them what they want. What they do depends on their ambitions. This is a conspiracy. In the Prime Minister's mansion, Chushing Yamamoto reluctantly packed up his daughter-in-law and sent her back. Oda said seriously from the side, Yamamoto-kun, how much truth do you think what General Dales said? Chushing Yamamoto couldn't hide the anger in his heart. Baga, it's all fake. It's true that only Yin Huang possesses controllable nuclear fusion technology. Oda asked with a very ugly expression. That damned white-skinned pig treats us like human beings. Prime Minister, what should we do? Chusheng Yamamoto's eyes were sharp. Oda, do you know why Eagle Sauce fought wars in Yudong for so many years and made troubles everywhere? Oda asked uncertainly. For energy? Chusheng Yamamoto nodded. That's right. In this world, energy is the main theme, and Eagle Sauce is going to fight in Yudong. Just for the energy there, those underground gold. Oda nodded in agreement. Yudong got its name because of its rich underground oil reserves. Chusheng Yamamoto continued, since Yodong's energy can make Ying Jiang send a large number of troops there at all costs, start a war, and fight for so many years, then you say that Yanhuang's controllable nuclear fusion technology can prevent Ying Jiang tempted? Hearing this, Oda nodded deeply and said, it must be tempting. If Yanhuang controls this technology and realizes its popularization, then it will no longer depend on imported energy, and Ying Jiang will have fewer ways to restrict them. As long as no one in Yanhuang can stop his development, his position as the world's hegemon will definitely be shaken. Chusheng Yamamoto said with a smile, that's right. One Yudong will make Ying Jiang pay so much. Yanhuang's controllable nuclear fusion technology represents infinite energy, which is enough to make Ying Jiang pay everything. Up. When Oda heard this, he suddenly thought of something. He looked at Chusheng Yamamoto. Isn't this just our opportunity? Chusheng Yamamoto nodded, looking outside the door. That's right. He Dao's is plotting against us. Why don't I plot against him? As long as the nuclear fusion power station is popularized, the infinite energy will make all countries in the world jealous, and war is inevitable, but at present, we will not go to war with Yanhuang. After all, the other party is also a superpower, but their proxy country is not so lucky. If things go on like this, there will inevitably be a war in the end. There will be a battle between Yanhuang and Ying Jiang, and we can just take the opportunity to enter. Oda stood up excitedly. Being able to break into Yanhuang is the dream of every Nihon player. There is a vast land, rich resources, and abundant energy, which is a richness that their neon can't imagine. Chusheng Yamamoto said with deep meaning, that's right. We are not only thugs, but also dark swords. Ask for flowers, evaluation tickets, monthly tickets, and some data. The child looked at the poor figures and was blown away. Jiangnan Shipyard. In the 300,000-ton dock, the main project of the Luanfeng Sky Carrier was finally completed thanks to the efforts of countless engineers all night long. Everyone stood proudly by the dock, looking up at the behemoth in front of them. This is what they have worked hard for several months, and the construction has been completed day and night. The heart and soul of everyone who participated in the construction was poured into it. Absolutely no one can believe that such a behemoth can be built in just a few months. This was built with all the strength of the Zijin military region and Changnan military region, regardless of cost and price. This is Yanhuang's speed. When the main module of the hull is assembled, it also means that the Luanfeng aerospace carrier can take off. It was closed for several months, never going out, never talking to the family on the phone, and not even seeing outsiders. Thousands of engineers and researchers have finally completed this great project. Caillou looked excitedly at the Luanfeng aerospace carrier, which has completed the assembly of all the modules of the hull. The main body is completed. Now we need to install the equipment inside. Yibai nodded. Many components have been installed along with the hull, and they have been put in at the same time. The rest can be installed later, including staffing. To be precise, the current Luanfeng can go into the sky and enter the sea. The Luanfeng aerospace carrier can not only fly in the sky, but also sail in the sea like an ordinary aircraft carrier. And because it is highly intelligent and uses quantum computers to provide computing services, it can be operated by one person. But to use all the functions, you need a lot of people. Or turn on the smart mode like the Ryan Giant anti-gravity fighter. It's really big. Caillou sighed. This is also the voice of all scientific researchers and engineers. When they were built on the hull, they didn't think it was very big. When they stood on the ground and looked at it, they had an intuitive feeling. Luanfeng Sky Mothership has a total length of 830 meters, a width of 298 meters, and a height of 168 meters to the height of the island. To put it bluntly, it is as tall as a 50-story building. It is longer than the tallest building in the world, Fuji's Harry's Tower. To be more specific, it is more than double the size of Ying Jiang's latest nuclear-powered aircraft carrier. This is a real Big Mac. In front of it, human beings look so inferior. Building such a behemoth is not just about adding dimensions all the time. The overall keel of the Luanfeng Sky Mothership is a brand new high-strength alloy specially made. Unfortunately, I can't go to the scene to watch Luanfeng Fate Yin. Lu Shogwa and others are paying attention to Lanhai's developments in real time because they are dealing with Dale's affairs. Unable to come to Jiangnan shipyard. When I saw that the camera could not fit in the Luanfeng Sky Mothership, I realized how huge this project is. Yiming also regretted, when this matter is over, I must go up and have a look. Yibai also sighed in his heart. After months of hard work in this closed environment, it was finally completed. He knows how difficult it is for everyone involved here. At the moment when you see the finished product, all the efforts are worth it. I'll go up first, ready to start the engine. As Yibai said, he entered the ship island through the internal elevator. There are 10 elevators leading to the ship island, entering each functional cabin of the ship island. Yibai went directly to the captain's command room. On the main console, there was a groove where a special key had to be inserted and the identity verified before the ultra-large controllable nuclear fusion energy device could be activated. At this time, the front of the 300,000-ton shipyard was full of people, including the entire Jiangnan shipyard. Yibai verified his identity, inserted the key into it, and twisted the key. In an instant, the controllable nuclear fusion energy device was activated, and a huge amount of energy surged out in an instant. The 4 100,000-ton thrust anti-gravity engines suddenly lit up. It's done. Kai Yu loudly reported to several leaders online. You leaders! The main body of this Luanfeng aerospace carrier was built with a total of 4,372 people and took 108 days. Finish. The energy source has been activated, and it can be launched at any time. Commander, please give instructions. The 5 chiefs glanced at each other in the video, and then Lu Shogwa said in a deep voice, Ascension. Immediately, the cloth canopy that was originally used to block the satellites from taking pictures opened, and the iron frame rose in all directions, revealing the sky that had been blocked for several months. Yibai pulls the joystick, and the 4 huge anti-gravity guides instantly output surging thrust. Under the watchful eyes of thousands of people, the huge Luanfeng aerospace carrier slowly lifted into the sky. A huge shadow gradually enveloped everyone. The special code is too shocking. Only when you see it with your own eyes will you realize how shocking it is. Oh my God, I'm numb because it's spectacular. What a great project. It's worth it. I can participate in the construction of such a human miracle. It's worth it. All the people on the ground cheered excitedly, and some even wiped the corners of their eyes silently. This is tears of joy. View from below. The bottom of the Luanfeng Sky Mothership is not a pointed triangle like a ship, but a rhombus. 4 huge anti-gravity engine apertures are on either side of the chamfer. As the battleship slowly lifted into the sky, it seemed that it was going to exceed the height of the retaining walls surrounding the Jiangnan shipyard. Yibai immediately activated the mimetic stealth system. I saw inexplicable color fluctuations suddenly appearing on the hull of the Luanfeng Sky Mothership, followed by just 1 second. Everyone just blinked. The huge Luanfeng space carrier disappeared without a trace before the eyes of thousands of people. Although they knew that the huge monster was right in front of their eyes, and it was taking off into the sky. But I couldn't see it. The sky was still so blue, and the clouds were slowly floating. The sea surface and walls that were originally covered by the huge hull are now exposed. Really, it's really invisible. My God, this is the mimic stealth module I'm in charge of. Haha, it's too strong. This technology is amazing. Such a huge object is completely integrated with the surrounding environment. Nyopai Plus, just like watching a movie. Mimic stealth is to constantly change the color and image of the hull appearance according to the surrounding environment. No matter which direction people look at the object, it will be the same as disappearing. In fact, it is completely integrated with the surrounding things to achieve the invisible effect. This requires a lot of calculations, and of course it is handed over to quantum computers to complete. Ha ha ha. With this, Dales are nothing but clowns. Lu Shogwa laughed heartily. A stern look flashed in Yiming's eyes. In this world, it's time for me, Yin Huang, to speak. Jin Jianjun greeted everyone. Dales has moved again. We have to keep an eye on him. Asking for flowers. At this time, Yibai asked for instructions through the capsule phone. Report, I want to drive the Luanfeng aerospace carrier for a trial voyage. Please approve it from the heads of state. Having been rash for the first time, Yibai took the initiative to ask for instructions this time. Lu Shogwa laughed and said, we allow you to sail as you like. The world is huge. Where do you want to try sailing? Receive. Yibai smiled. Lu Shogwa nodded with satisfaction. We're going offline first. I wish you all the best in installing all the modules and your maiden voyage. After speaking, Lu Shogwa and others went offline. At this time, a door suddenly appeared in the scene that had not changed at all, and Yibai walked out from it. He also controlled the Luanfeng sky carrier to land and float on the dock. Everyone, do you want to go up and see the space carrier you built together? Yibai looked at the crowd with a smile. Everyone shouted excitedly, yes. Such a high-tech battleship, maybe this is the only chance to ride in this life. Yibai returned to the command room, controlled the two huge lifting platforms to descend to a certain height, and then stretched out the automatic elevator to let everyone go up. Then rise to the original position. Everyone looked at the deck like a small island, and ordinary people need to run for more than 4 minutes to run from the beginning to the end. Yibai is on a huge island, where all the control systems of the space carrier are located. Suddenly, the entire hull shook slightly, and everyone saw the surrounding scenery rising continuously. Faster and faster, faster and faster. In no time it rose to the sky. This altitude exceeds the altitude of general fighter jets and all civil aviation. Activate Proton Energy Shield. Yibai activated the shield to resist the wind brought by the higher and higher altitudes. In an instant, the gale on the space carrier disappeared. Of course, this energy shield is not just for resisting strong winds. On the battleship, everyone can't feel any fluctuations. The sound of the entire Luanfeng Sky mothership is very small. There is only a faint hum sound from the 4 huge anti-gravity engines. Others have no sound at all. Everyone ran to the edge of the hull, holding on to the guardrail to look down. F***K, I'm flying in the sky. Ha ha ha, it's too exciting, but luckily I'm not afraid. The sky is so beautiful from this angle. I saw the clouds floating slowly around the Luanfeng Sky mothership, like endless cotton candy in the eyes of everyone. The sun hangs high overhead. But because of the existence of the proton energy shield, no one can get the heat of the sun. Eroer has been looking at the ship island all the time. In fact, this is also due to the mothership ecosystem she participated in the construction of. The mothership ecosystem is very complex. It can not only ensure that the warship is like spring all year round, warm in winter and cool in summer. It can also provide enough air pressure and oxygen for the battleship so that people will not have altitude sickness and will not suffocate. Moreover, there is a huge circulation system inside the hull, which can extract water vapor from the air, then compress it into water, and then filter it into drinking water. It also provides water for the internal vegetable garden. As long as you want, you can also breed animals inside the battleship. It can be said that this is a small island that can be self-sufficient and has unlimited energy. Everyone, I'll take you to Lanhai for a drive. Ibeno-kun, we are only 30 nautical miles away from Kirishima, and we will be there soon. Little Turtle Radaka on board the Tsangyun amphibious landing ship looked ahead excitedly. Haha, the new prime minister finally thought about it. Let us occupy Kirishima. It should have been done a long time ago. It was originally an uninhabited island, very suitable for our neon country. Inobi no laughed. He has extreme expansion ideas, and thinks that Neon has always been the second in the world. The territory of the Neon Kingdom is extremely small, and these islands are too suitable for occupation. Xiaogui Rigeo said harshly, "This time we have Ying Jiang's first fleet to support us. Even Yin Huang can only stare blankly, haha." The complete establishment of the entire First Fleet is in Lanhai, and there are two 10,000-ton Columbia-class nuclear submarines, the most advanced nuclear submarine in the world. Yin Huang's eyes were all focused on Dale's. No Anobi snorted coldly. "We have also dispatched powerful Imperial warships, a Bayan-class helicopter carrier equipped with F-35B vertical takeoff and landing fighter jets, and 4 Hiyori-class destroyers. Even if Yin Huang's aircraft carrier battle group comes over, we are not afraid." Xiaogui Radaka laughed and said, "Haha, Ying Jiang doesn't allow us to build an aircraft carrier, but a helicopter carrier plus F-35B is an aircraft carrier. We are still smart." 9-8E. 6 Neon Nation warships marched aggressively towards Kirishima. On the other side, Dales leaned against the fence of the First Fleet carrier. "To be honest, I really hate to leave Neon Country. These 2 days are too comfortable." Dales licked his lips, full of aftertaste. Jack smiled and said, "After solving the Yin Huang matter, we can go to the Neon Country for vacation in a legitimate way. It's hard to imagine how comfortable Shukel was before. Oh, poor guy. He'll never get a chance to come on vacation all." Dale stretched comfortably. "It's better here." Jack smiled and said, "We are strong. We are comfortable wherever we go." The Changnan military region is close to the coast and immediately discovered the movements of the Dao's First Fleet. "What the hell are these guys trying to do?" Bai Yin frowned, watching the movement of the huge aircraft carrier battle group of the First Fleet in the sea map. "This movement seems to want to go to Bend Island?" Rear Admiral Du Yu of the Changnan military region drew a line on the electronic radar map. "They didn't have any news. They went straight there, obviously for us to see. Darwin is a disgusting guy." Bai Yin ordered in a cold voice, "Let the number 03 aircraft carrier battle group go to intercept them, and they are absolutely not allowed to approach Bend Island." Du Yu nodded vigorously, "No problem." Suddenly, the intelligence officer urgently reported, "General, 6 Neon battleships were found sneaking close to Dayu Island. They sailed silently and are about to arrive at Kirishima." Silent sailing is to turn off all radar and electronic systems on the battleship and only keep the basic sailing direction in an attempt to achieve stealth effect and avoid radar scanning. Doing so can effectively improve the penetration concealment. Bai Yan's eyes froze when he heard the words, "These guys must be plotting something wrong. Otherwise, they wouldn't be sailing silently. Damn it." It turned out that Darth's large-scale mobilization of the fleet was to attract Yin Huang's attention and cover the warships of the Neon Kingdom approaching Dayu Island. Du Yu said in a deep voice, "I'm afraid it's not that simple. If Darzhao is real, he's false, and if he's false, he's real. He can be true on both sides, or he can be false. It depends on our movements." Bai Yin said coldly, "The plan to intercept Dao's remains unchanged, and we will quickly send warships to Kirishima. They must not be allowed to successfully land on the island." Du Yu gave a military salute. "Yes?" "Haha, Nogakuin, look, Sakirishima is not far away." Little Turtle Hidaka excitedly pointed to the gradually emerging island in the distance. Yarn Kirishima is a natural uninhabited island between the Neon Kingdom and the Yin Huang Kingdom, with a large area. Yarn Kirishima's geographical location is like a turret stuck on the middle line of the two countries. As long as you garrison here, you can easily hit the opponent's territory. So Yarn Kirishima's strategic position is high, but it doesn't really belong to either side here. The Neon Kingdom has always wanted to occupy this place, but under pressure from the Yin Huang Kingdom, they dare not act rashly. As long as they occupy Kirishima, the surrounding island groups will also be under Neon Nation's military coverage. At that time, Neon Country will occupy a very favorable geographical position. Haha, as long as we land here and build projects, it will be useless even if the warships from the Yin Huang Kingdom come over, unless they start a war with us. Inobi laughed wildly. Their attention has been attracted by Mr. Dale's First Fleet, and it's too late to rush over now. Furthermore, they dare to start a war with us? Humph. Little Turtle Regeo proudly said, "Yes, the new Prime Minister is really too smart. Now, we can keep an eye on Yin Huang all the time and lay the 10th solid foundation stone for the revival of our neon country." Report, General Yeha. 5 fishing boats from the Yin Huang Kingdom have been spotted in the southeast of us, and they are rapidly approaching our battleship. Suddenly, intelligence agents ran out from the island to report. Inobi no immediately took out his binoculars and looked towards the southeast. Sure enough, on the calm sea, 5 fishing boats with the national flag of Yin Huang Kingdom were riding the wind and waves, rushing towards them quickly. "Imph! Come on, it's just a few fishing boats. We have 6 warships. Why are we afraid of their fishing boats? Ridiculous." Inobi no Go said that indifferently. Xiaogue Regeo nodded and said, "Just let them leave when the time comes, and if it doesn't work, just shoot them with a water gun." Inobi no waved his hands. "Hey, how can we use the water gun first? We can't do it first, but if they try to hit them, we can't blame us for fighting back, haha. Tall, really tall, haha." Xiaogue Regeo then laughed loudly. Yin Huang Kingdom has a high patriotic sentiment and is the easiest to provoke. In fact, we are the victims, haha. No. Yin Huang UNU 81192 small ocean-going fishing boat. Take the lead in charge at the forefront. Old Lu, do you really want to go there? The woman asked worriedly in the cabin. My child, the child is still at home? Lu Mu looked at the huge neon warship that was getting closer and closer, without any hesitation. Don't worry, our battleship must be on the way. We must not let this group of Gazids approach Kirishima. They definitely want to occupy it. We fishermen know the geographical location there, and we must not let them succeed. Zizi, Old Lu, thanks to you letting us go around. We found this group of shameless things. Otherwise, we would have missed it. Z, sneaking onto the island is too in line with their national characteristics. Zizi, don't change your mind. Don't say anything. We have to stop them. Z, haha, I can be a martyr now. Listening to the words of fellow fishing boats on the radio, Lu Mu said in a deep voice, Yes, we must stop them, special ones. If you dare to think about Kirishima, you will be punished. Old woman, put your horses on the line and charge me.
2244 D.
5 fishing boats from the Yin Huang Kingdom rushed towards the 6 warships from the Neon Kingdom. What did you say? 5 of our fishing boats rushed over. Bai Yin looked at the intelligence officer in surprise. That's right, 5 fishing boats are approaching the Dian Kingdom warship at high speed. The intelligence officer is keeping a close eye on the radar, which has the number of the fishing boat of the Yin Huang Kingdom. Damn it, let you hurry up. We fishermen must not be harmed in any way. Bai Yin hastily ordered, Also, tell me the fleet of the Neon Kingdom. If they dare to hurt our fishermen, don't blame me for Yin Huang Kingdom's reckless revenge.
Yes.
The intelligence agent immediately contacted the front line. Let the military region activate the first-level combat readiness for me. As long as the Neon Kingdom dares to touch my fishermen, I will let all their warships stay in Kirishima. Want to station troops on it? Then don't go back. Bai Yin ordered domineeringly. If you want to go to the island, we can still fight and talk about it. If you dare to touch Yin Huang people, then wait to bear the wrath of hundreds of millions of Yin Huang people. The Changnan military region quickly began to operate. All soldiers are urgently put into the highest state of combat readiness. The planes were all fueled up and checked. Brother, what's the situation? Which one to fight? Playing neon lights. They are acting as demons in the Lanhai Sea. Our fishing boat has passed by. I'm afraid there will be bad luck. If you dare to touch my Yin Huang fishermen, I will destroy them. Everyone heard that it was the battleship of the Neon Kingdom acting as a monster, and the fighting momentum doubled instantly. Erasure C. Do you personally lead the battleship to Kirishima? The number 03 aircraft carrier battle group went to intercept the first fleet of Dales. This time, the Neon Kingdom sent 6 warships, one of which is a Bayan-class pseudo-aircraft carrier with F-35B vertical takeoff and landing fighter jets, an amphibious landing ship, and 4 frigates. Do you frown while listening to the 3.3 adjutant's report? The purpose of the Neon Kingdom this time is obvious. The amphibious landing ship brought a large number of tools and people, obviously wanting to occupy Kirishima, and then slowly erode the surrounding island groups. It must be taking advantage of the opportunity of Ying Jiang's big move to take advantage of the opportunity. The scale of the battleship is very large. It seems that it has made up its mind. Not good, General. Suddenly, the intelligent soldier said anxiously. Do you immediately ask, what's wrong? The headquarters called, saying that we have 5 fishing boats approaching the warships of the Neon Nation. What? Do you exclaimed, special code? He feels something is wrong. The intelligent soldier continued. The headquarters said, we must protect our fishermen. If the Neon Nation dares to take action, then sink them. Do you clenched his fists? The speed of the warship had reached the fastest at this time. He wished he could be near Kirishima immediately. He had a murderous look in his eyes. Notify me of all the battleships, first-level equipment. Put all the shells on me. He knows Yanhuang people and Yanhuang fishermen. Bloodiness is the characteristic that Yanhuang can have in his bones. This battle cannot be avoided. Baga, you bastards, please leave immediately and don't come here again. Inobi no yelled at the fishing boats of Yanhuang Kingdom with a loudspeaker. Otherwise, don't blame us if something goes wrong. Lao Lu didn't care about driving the fishing boat and closely followed the Nahong Kingdom warship. We know exactly what you want to do. Don't even think about landing on the island. Old Lu Lang shouted loudly. Both sides couldn't understand what the other was saying, and both shouted to themselves. Xiaogue Rigeo frowned and looked at the group of fishing boats. Yehajun, Yanhuang contacted us just now, telling us not to touch these fishing boats, or we will bear the consequences. Inobi said angrily, threaten me? Neon Nation, is afraid of threats. Ridiculous. And we won't take the initiative to attack, but if they attack us, can't we fight back? Xiaogue Rigeo grinned. You're right, it's still according to the plan. To provoke them, we fight back out of self-defense. Even if it comes to the Blue Star Alliance, we are justified. Inobi no smiled and said, that's right, and Ying Jiang is also on our side. With Ying Jiang here, it's not Yanhuang's turn to be the boss. The water gun is ready. Dare to threaten my big neon country? Let you look at me, that's awesome. LOL. Xiaogue Rigeo smiled sullenly when he heard the words, I'll go get ready right now. After a while, a man who could speak Chinese was brought to the deck. Yanhuang's fishing boat, please leave immediately and don't interfere with our sailing, otherwise, you will bear the consequences. The soldier finished his speech after stumbling and signaled that he had a water gun. 22 Lao Lu shouted loudly, not allowed. Not allowed to land on Shakirishima. The soldiers quickly translated to Inobi and Yaha. Inobi no laughed and said, I know what he's talking about without an interpreter. Tell him, we're just sailing freely. Please don't hinder us, or we'll use water cannons. We must tell them clearly that we will use water cannons. Koki Hidaka controls the water gun. As long as we continue to move towards Kirishima, they will definitely stop us. When the time comes, we will use the water gun for self-defense. The soldier translated it immediately. Old Lu heard the translator scold angrily. If I dare to stop you, I am not afraid of death. Don't even try to go to the island today. Yes, don't lose it. Extraordinary, if you dare to move forward, we dare to collide. The 5 Yanhuang fishing boats were not afraid at all. Their ocean-going fishing boats also weigh more than 300 tons, which is already very large among fishing boats. But compared with the Neon Country amphibious landing ship with a full load and displacement of more than 4,000 tons, it looks very small, and the tonnage is 10 times worse. What's more, there are still 5 such warships. The number and size are all incomparable, but none of the fishermen in Yanhuang are afraid of them. Seeing that the warship of the Neon Kingdom didn't intend to stop at all, Lao Lu yelled, F***K, prepare to hit me. My fishing boat of more than 300 tons will hit it at full speed. If I don't believe it, I can't give you a shot mouth. Yes, when 5 of us collide with one, it is bound to stop your wretched battleship. Made if it sinks, I'll earn money even if I die. There are so many people on your warship, and our little people will earn money. Haha. Brothers, distance yourself and prepare for me. Lao Lu told everyone to keep a distance, ready to speed up the collision. Old Lu boy. Old Lu interrupted his wife's words. In a while, you put a small boat down and leave the boat to me. You take care of the child. When he grows up, he will know. His father is a hero. The woman wiped the corners of her eyes and said nothing. She also has blood, but she still has a family. But she also understands the truth. There is a country to have a home. General, the Neon side is about to reach Kirishima, and they haven't fully listened to us. Jack looked at the report displeased. Dale smiled. I guess that the group of pigs would not be obedient. That's what I want. Hearing this, Jack asked doubtfully, don't we let him approach Bend Island with us? They pretend to visit, but we are actually visiting. Dale shook his head. It's not, Jack. Neon Kingdom's expansion thoughts are very serious because their poor country is full of volcanoes and has no resources, so they want to expand. Hiroshima is a very good choice. They will definitely take advantage of the premise that we provide shelter and cover to seek their own interests, but they overestimated themselves and underestimated Yanhuang Kingdom's determination. Jack nodded, and Dales continued. Besides, their actions will definitely anger Yanhuang. If Yanhuang makes a move, we have reason to say that they are too threatening and take the opportunity to exert pressure, and it is impossible for them to rise peacefully. At that time, we have many ways to force them to hand over controllable nuclear fusion technology. Jack gave a thumbs up. Gao, the general scheme is high. Dal smiled triumphantly. Let's just let the Neon jump around. By the way, we have to express our attitude from time to time. We support any legal behavior of the Neon. My layout is more than just these. My first fleet is not comparable to Michael's idiot who can only get angry. Dals looked at the sea in the distance, and soon, he was going to face Yanhuang Kingdom's latest number 03 aircraft carrier. Yehajun, they are really going to bump into each other. Little Turtle Ridaka shouted excitedly. The opportunity to fight back has come. Quick, tell them if this continues, we're going to fight back. Inobi Inohi asked the translator to speak quickly. Hi. Yanhuang fishing boat. Don't come closer, or we will fight back. He yelled 3 times in a row, but Lao Lu and the others didn't care at all. Zizi, brothers, Sakirishima is ahead. Let them move forward, and they will really land. We must not just sit and watch. Lao Lu shouted to his compatriots through the walkie-talkie. Come on. Zizi, rush. None of the Yanhuang fishing boats retreated, and they rushed towards the Neon Nation warship at full speed. The women were all released from the fishing boat. They were on the boat, looking at the back of their man with tears in their eyes. Inobi Inohi looked coldly at the oncoming fishing boat and ordered loudly, Dodge immediately! Attack them with water guns. After receiving the order, the soldiers immediately slowed down and turned to dodge. Xiaogue Rigeo turned on the water gun at the same time. Even if the opponent is a warship, even if the opponent's size force is much stronger than them, the fishermen headed by Lao Lu did not back down. I, the unyielding Yanhuang man, how can I be afraid of your neon ghost? If you have the ability to blow me up with missiles. Lao Lu controls the fishing boat and rushes desperately towards the warship of the Neon Kingdom. The rest of the fishermen were infected by him, and they drove their fishing boats to rush away desperately. Emission. Noanobi gave the order, and Hidaka Combe immediately pulled the trigger, and the high-pressure water gun shot out a powerful jet of water, rushing towards Lao Lu's ocean-going fishing boat in the lead. A thick jet of water hit the hull of the fishing boat. The fishing boats rushed by the powerful water pressure are tilted. This is a special large-caliber water gun we prepared for you Yanhuang fishermen. Try it. Lao Lu's fishing boat was washed up and down, but the other 4 fishing boats were still turbid. At this time, other neon warships surrounded the 5 Yanhuang fishing boats and all fired their water guns. 6 warships surrounded 5 petite fishing boats and fired water guns, shouting excitedly, as if all this was fun. 5 fishing boats were washed away by 6 powerful water cannons, let alone collided with them, and it was difficult to even control them. Ha ha ha, cool. If Yanhuang's warships dare to attack us, their fishing boats will also be implicated. Let's see how they fight. Ha ha. Suddenly, all the water guns seem to be blocked by something. There seems to be a wall standing in their way, but they don't see anything at all. The warships of the Neon Kingdom seem to be having a good time. Jack looked at the radar map 030 and grinned. It is reported that the fishing boats that encountered the Yanhuang Kingdom are communicating with them happily. Dales waved his hand casually. Let them play. This will anger the Yanhuang Kingdom even more. What a good cannon fodder, ha ha ha. Look, our destination is almost here. How is it? Has our fishing boat come into contact with Neon's warship? Do you ask the radar soldiers nervously? Contacted, kept parallel for a while, and then separated. But now the 6 warships of the Neon Kingdom have surrounded all our fishing boats. Do you said angrily, it's special. You actually ignored our warnings. You really thought our words were deaf ears. Let our warship activate the fire control radar. Immediately irradiate the warship of the Neon Country. Launch a ship-to-ship missile. Hit to the sea area next to them. Warn them to let go of our fishing boat immediately, or the next shot will be their warship. The fleet led by DU has a destroyer of 0.55 million tons, 2 destroyers of 0.52d, and a conventional submarine. It is still far away from the Neon Nation fleet, and it is impossible to go there quickly, but the missiles on the 0.55 million ton destroyer can lock them. Receive. Because he was afraid that the explosion would affect the fishing boat, he could only warn first. Damn it. DU patted the fence angrily. Not good, General. Suddenly, Yin Bing reported in horror. DU quickly asked, what's wrong? Did our fishing boat number disappear? If the radar number of the fishing boat disappears, it means that the fishing boat has probably sunk. The radar soldier shook his head in bewilderment. No, it's not. But the radar suddenly lost all targets. What's the meaning? DU still didn't understand. The radar soldier had no choice but to repeat carefully. The 6 warships of the Neon Country and the 5 fishing boats of our fishermen all disappeared on the radar. What did you say? All of our fishing boats and the warships of Neon Nation disappeared all of a sudden. Hearing what the radar soldier said, Bai Yin quickly looked at the radar map and looked at the vicinity of Kirishima in disbelief. The radar signals of the 6 Neon warships and 5 Yanhuang fishing boats that were there had all disappeared. Just like that, it suddenly disappeared from the map. Is the radar on all bands activated? Bai Yin asked seriously. The radar soldier nodded vigorously. How so? Bai Yin frowned and said in disbelief, Neon Nation's warships are gone, but what about our fishing boats? He pressed the capsule phone behind his ear to connect to DU. Can the radar on your warship see our fishing boat? No. It disappeared with the warships of the Neon Kingdom. It's too abrupt. DU's voice was serious, and he had just told the fleet's radar soldiers about it. How good. Suddenly so many ships are gone. DU asked uncertainly, could it be that kind of phenomenon? A thought flashed through Bai Yan's mind when he heard the words. You mean the phenomenon of the Bermuda Triangle? DU nodded slightly and said, that's right. Otherwise, why would the 11 ships suddenly disappear from the radar chart? Bai Yin nodded, indeed. There is no other better explanation. The mystery of the Bermuda Triangle is about a sea area in southeastern Florida, and there is a place called Bermuda. Between that place and the other 2 islands of the Eagle Sauce, there is a triangular area. That is the Bermuda Triangle. And there are often various cases of mysterious disappearances. Also disables all radars. This is the mystery of the Bermuda Triangle. But it doesn't just appear there, it can appear anywhere on the sea. There are many incidents of planes and ships disappearing suddenly at sea in history. There was even a time when a plane disappeared for more than 30 years, and everyone thought that all the people on board were killed. The plane appeared again, and the people in the plane have not deteriorated yet. This is a phenomenon that science cannot explain. Both Bai Yin and Bai Yin didn't want to believe it either. Bai Yin said in a deep voice, no matter what, you continue to go to the place where the incident happened, and you must find out what's going on. DU replied immediately, understood. First Fleet, Dals is looking at the gradually emerging coastline in the distance. Where's their destination? Bend Island. His goal is to land on Bend Island in order to cooperate with the Neon Kingdom to anger the Yanhuang Kingdom. Neon and them landed on the island at the same time in different directions. Yanhuang would definitely be very angry. As long as they dare to fire the first shot, Wall's plan will succeed. Destroy the road of Yanhuang's peaceful rise. If the Yanhuang Kingdom endured it, that would be fine, and the majesty of their eagle sauce was once again boosted. Once again, he showed his strength to the world. So no matter what, Dao's will not fail, and he can get the strategic gains he wants. Yanhuang Kingdom has no possibility of breaking the game. This time it will definitely suffer this loss. General, the owner of Bend Island knows that you are going, so he welcomes you very much and is very excited. Dales laughed. Tell them, don't talk formally. I like to discuss privately. Jack nodded knowingly and smiled. Understood. The owner of the island understands very well and has already prepared in advance. After all, the girls on Bend Island are also very good. Dales laughed and said, haha, that's right. You know girls. Suddenly, a soldier reported anxiously, General, on our radar map, the warships of the Neon Kingdom suddenly disappeared. The smile on Darth's face froze suddenly, and he said displeasedly, Fake, what's going on with them? What kind of nonsense are they doing? Jack wondered. It won't be sunk. It's impossible. Even if the Yanhuang Kingdom launches missiles, we should still be able to receive radar signals. There is an electronic warfare ship in their first fleet, which is specially responsible for electronic warfare, and the radar on it is very advanced. There are missiles going into the air. They will definitely receive an early warning. But now their early warning radar has no response. No missile attack was detected. Not only the warships of the Neon Country, but also the fishing boats of the Yanhuang Country disappeared. How is this possible? Jack exclaimed in disbelief. He quickly ran back to the ship island, looked at the radar map, and sure enough, the radar signal that originally represented the warship of the Neon Kingdom was gone. They have electronic warships. It is impossible for a warship with more than 4,000 tons to suddenly disappear from the radar. And there are still 6, and there are 5 Yanhuang fishing boats. F***K. It's really gone, Fark. What's going on? Jack scratched his head vigorously, ran out of the island again, and looked at Dales. It's really gone. Dales was slightly taken aback, and then frowned. Why did it disappear suddenly? Could it be because of the Bermuda phenomenon? Otherwise, how could such a thing happen? Everyone can't explain it at all. The soldier continued, and the contact between the Neon Nation warship and us was also interrupted. At the same time, we can no longer receive their radio communications. Dales frowned and looked at the soldier and asked, What did they say in the end? Soldiers tried hard to recall. They seemed to be laughing, then made a sound of doubt, and finally suddenly fell silent, as if they saw something strange. Dales felt a little uneasy in his heart. He rarely feels this way, but whenever he does, something bad will happen, so he trusts his instincts. With a serious face, he looked at the coastline of Bend Island, which was already very close, and hesitated for a moment before saying, This plan may have unknown dangers. So what? Jack asked. Dales waved his hand. Stop. The fleet is resting where it is. In addition, you have been contacting the Neon Nation fleet. As long as there is news, report it immediately. Yes. Baga, what's going on? Why is the water gun blocked? Inobi watched in bewilderment as all the water from the water gun shot into the air, but it seemed to hit something out of thin air and shot out in all directions. Their people were rushed by the suddenly refracted water column, and they had no time to dodge, and they were thrown on their backs, in a panic. Some people were caught off guard, and they were all rushed to the ground. This is a special large-caliber water gun, Wei Wutian.
Baga, baga.
Little Turtle Regeo roared, What the hell is going on? Originally, he was having fun, but suddenly the water jet was blocked by an invisible thing, and a jet of water directly flew him out and fell heavily on the ground. He rubbed his butt in pain and sat up, feeling a sharp pain in his chest. He looked angrily at the empty sea. Sir, it's bad. Our radar seems to have a problem. It can't scan anything, and we have lost contact with the outside world. What? How did you lose contact? Inobi Noko hurried into the command room, frantically trying to contact Dales by radio. This is easy. But there is only annoying white noise on the radio. Baga hell? He hurriedly tried to contact Neon Country again, but there was no response. He hurriedly went to look at the radar map again and found that there was nothing on the radar map. Even their own battleship was gone. Baga, who can tell me what happened? Why did our warship disappear from the radar? Inobi no yelled and questioned the surrounding soldiers, but no one understood what was going on. They are all dumbfounded. How did this happen? How did this happen? Inobi no frowned, thinking about what happened. The other side. Lao Lu and the others were also stunned. They felt that there was a pressure on their heads, but they couldn't see anything. The water gun that was originally aimed at them was also blocked. Never mind. Neon's water guns are as short as their height. Let's keep going. Their boat was still moving forward without stopping, and they could still see Kirishima approaching. Baga, you bunch of shit. How dare you come here? Xiaogue Rigeo took out his pistol and pointed it at Lao Lu's fishing boat, endured the severe pain in his chest, and directly opened the safety. He was so angry that he felt that at least one rib in his chest was broken by the water jet. Old Lu stared at him, full of disdain, without a trace of fear. Baga, stinky Yanhuang man, go to hell. Little Turtle Hidaka was about to shoot when he saw the most unforgettable scene in his life. I see. Right in front of him, a huge muzzle suddenly appeared in the empty space where there was nothing. The muzzle is bigger than his whole body. The muzzle is composed of 3 metal guide rails, with streams of current constantly entangled on it, and the blue energy is slowly gathering. The sound of increasing energy rang in everyone's ears, and then stopped in a very sharp range, and everyone could no longer hear the high-frequency sound. But still not over. Immediately afterwards, amid all the incomparably horrified eyes, the originally empty air suddenly began to distort. The colors continue to merge and rotate, and the air becomes blurred. It's as if the entire space image was suddenly grabbed by someone, and then it was torn off forcefully. A huge warship with a height of more than 50 floors and a length of more than 200 floors suddenly appeared in front of everyone. It is the Luanfeng space carrier that Yibai is driving, bringing thousands of scientific researchers and engineers to Lanhai for a ride. Can you imagine the feeling of a 200-story building pressing on top of you? Koki Radaka realized it. That is the fear of giants from the depths of the soul. The huge battleship exudes an unparalleled sense of oppression. He trembled and looked up at the huge monster above his head and fell to the ground in fright. He stared at the huge muzzle in fear and stammered, "This? What the hell is this? This group of special neon dogs actually bully our fishermen." People from the Jiangnan shipyard on the deck of the Luanfeng Skycarrier looked at the 6 neon warships angrily. Yibai puts his hands on the fire button. Not long ago, Yibai took the crowd from Jiangnan shipyard to Lanhai for a walk. He has been in the normal cruise mode. The speed is not fast. Let everyone enjoy the scenery. Everyone soared on the vast sea, feeling very excited and comfortable. When they looked at the sea, they were even more shocked and speechless. A giant is flying in the sky. They are now on this behemoth. It's so cool. Such a big thing went to the sky. It's my first time flying, really. I've never been on a plane before. Even if I've been on a plane, I don't have such a shock. You can see the blue sky when you look up, and you don't need to look through the window. Yeah, you can see the sea when you look down. It's like dreaming. Everyone on the deck looked around excitedly, protected by the proton shield. They were not afraid of falling. There are also people in the ship island, watching the appearance of the Luanfeng Sky Carrier ship island after it is activated. The huge ship island already has the appearance of some interstellar warships. On the top of the island is the Mothership Command, where future members will control everything on the Luanfeng Sky Mothership. In front of the headquarters is a huge piece of special high-strength glass. Yibai sits in the commander's control cabin in the middle of the headquarters, surrounded by radar, fire control, flight, and other control cabins. There is a projection in front of each control cabin, and various systems can be operated by hand gestures. At this time, it is semi-intelligent driving, and only Yi Bai is in control. Everyone looked at all this in amazement. This is high technology. It's so handsome. It feels like I've entered an interstellar journey. Haha, I think that as academician Yi continues to study, interstellar travel is not impossible. Eroer is also visiting the 757. Her eyes will always look at Yi Bai unconsciously. Yi Bai looked at the radar on the side, and there was a radar scan of the entire Lanhai on it. The radar of the Wanfeng sky carrier can cover the entire Ayrshire Sea. The radar chart has radar signatures of many ships. Yi Bai stretched out his hand to control the air and pulled the radar map in front of him. This way of interaction is just like how Tony retrieves information in Iron Man, which is convenient and casual. Only the captain has such control. He randomly clicked on the radar signals on the two radar maps, and the seascape where that point was located immediately appeared in front of him. It's like overlooking the entire Lanhai from the sky. Clicking on the radar map, you can instantly zoom in on that location for viewing. Suddenly, he saw some strange radar points, so he clicked on them. Because the radar network of the Yinhuang State Navy has not yet been connected, the radar map does not show what ship each radar signal is. When Yi Bai curiously checked the area image of the radar point, his face suddenly sank. What is this shit? This is a warship from the Neon Kingdom. That's our fishing boat, special size. It's not good. This group of freshmen dare to touch our fishing boat. The people in the headquarters ran to the projection side angrily, and they were all very angry. In the projection, people from the Neon Kingdom were laughing and teasing the fishing boats of the Yinhuang Kingdom. He also attacked frantically with a water gun and played with fishermen arrogantly. Everyone was deeply touched by the spirit of the fishermen on the fishing boat who were not afraid of death. And the shamelessness of those Neon Country soldiers made everyone angry. Those water guns are not of normal caliber at all. They are at least doubled in size. Yi Bai's face was gloomy and terrifying. It was the first time Eroer saw his expression like this. When he was ridiculed by Emo Chong in the Beiyang military region, he was extremely calm. Yi Bai accelerated immediately, although the speed of the space carrier could not be accelerated instantaneously like the Ryonjian anti-gravity fighter. It requires an acceleration process, as well as a stop. Its speed can be very fast, but the people on the deck will definitely not be able to stand up. This is not something that the proton energy shield can handle, but it still accelerates faster than many airplanes. When the speed of the Wanfeng Sky mothership broke through the sound barrier, a loud roar sounded outside the proton shield. Extraordinary, supersonic speed. This is a giant ship of 200,000 tons. It's unimaginable. This is an anti-gravity engine, haha, a single 100,000 tons, for 400,000 tons. This thrust is unmatched. The people on the deck didn't know what happened on the sea, and they all lamented the speed of the Wanfeng Sky mothership. A giant ship of 200,000 tons is flying in the sky, still flying at supersonic speed. After a while, the space carrier came to the top of the Honghua fleet. Yi Bai slowed down slowly and then quickly lowered his altitude. Only then did the people on the deck see that the people on the Neon Nation fleet were attacking their fishermen with special water guns. Seeing the people of the Neon country laughing and mocking and teasing the fishermen of the Yinhuang country, everyone suddenly became angry. Let me go down. I'm going to kill this group of shit. I'm going to. It's special. I can't bear it. Maid. It's a pity that I didn't bring a gun. I was so mad. Most of the decks were engineers from the military region. Their eyes were red, and they wanted to go down and wipe out all the soldiers from the Neon country. Baga, a stupid Yinhuang fisherman, dare to fight against our Neon nation, ha ha ha. Little Turtle Hidaka laughed and controlled the water gun to shoot. Soldiers on other warships did the same, attacking and insulting. At this time, the Wanfeng Sky Carrier blocked all their water guns. Little Turtle Regeo was blown away by the water column. He stood up with a pistol and was about to attack the Yinhuang fisherman. Yi Bai directly fired a cation cannon at him. The energy on the cation cannon condenses more and more. Yibai didn't fire it because it would affect the fisherman. He stretched out the cation cannon and suddenly approached the little turtle regale. The super-energy high-temperature positron arc flowing from the muzzle suddenly popped up a trace, just hitting the little turtle Hidaka, directly vaporizing his whole body instantly. He didn't even have time to scream. He was gone. Not even a scum left. All the people on the Neon Nation's warships were stunned when they saw the huge Luanfeng Sky mothership that suddenly appeared, and they didn't dare to move at all. After seeing little turtle Hidaka being gasified directly, he was even more frightened and trembled all over. Inohi stepped back again and again, looking at the arrogant muzzle with blue light in horror. What kind of weapon is that? A single arc can vaporize people, leaving no ashes behind? What the hell is this? Big battleship. Such a huge thing can fly in the sky. Could it be that aliens invaded Blue Star? The soldier looked at all this in horror. How can there be such a big warship in the world? It's so scary. Is this a miracle? Only God can create such a masterpiece. Baga, what should we do? Why don't we run away? It's too big. We can't beat it. We really can't beat it. In the face of such a behemoth, no one even has the idea of confrontation. Yibai shouted through the radio, "Dear fishermen of the Yanhuang Kingdom, I am an academician of the Yanhuang Kingdom Academy of Dragon Sciences. This is our warship. I can leave it here. You can leave safely. It may affect you later." When Lao Lu heard that it was a battleship from the Yanhuang Kingdom, he was immediately overjoyed. Haha, I just said that our battleship will definitely come. It's so handsome. Is this our warship? It's too big. It doesn't even fly in the sky. Maid, more than that, you can still be invisible just now. My God, it feels like a dream. It's awesome, haha. It's amazing to my country. Let's see how arrogant the dogs in the Neon country are. That's right, he was so awesome when he bullied us just now. But now he's too scared to move, huh? The fishermen finally breathed a sigh of relief when they saw their country's warships arrive, and they were all extremely excited. It was the first time for them to see such a big ship flying in the sky. I didn't expect to appear on everyone's faces with such an abrupt appearance with great visual impact. The people on the 6 warships of the Neon Kingdom felt cold when they heard that Yibai spoke in Yanhuang dialect. It's over. Inohi's heart skipped a beat, his face was ashen, and he was terrified. Yanhuang people are the most defensive, and this may not be so easy to pass. What the hell? How could Yanhuang have such a battleship? Old Lu clenched his fists. Brothers, let's go. We will only get in the way here. Okay, let's go. Leave it to our country's warships. The 5 fishing boats immediately turned around and accelerated to leave. Can't go. Inobino immediately shouted loudly, "Stop them, otherwise we will die." He was very clever and wanted to keep the fishing boat, so as to restrict Yibai's actions. A frigate moved immediately, ready to intercept the fishing boat. But immediately a cation cannon hit their faces. The people on the frigate were so scared and stupid. Just now they saw with their own eyes that this thing vaporized a person with an electric arc. Who dares to move? The frigate stopped intercepting immediately. Stop all, otherwise die. Yibai shouted to the warships of the Neon Kingdom through intelligent translation. With that said, every Neon Nation warship is locked by a positive ion cannon. Inobino could only tremblingly order all the warships to stop. The power gap is too big. Their warships are like grandchildren in front of the Luanfeng Sky mothership. Old Lu saw that the warships of the Nihon country had stopped and immediately drove out from the bow of their fishing boat. He raised his middle finger at the neon soldier in disdain. Go ride. I'm waiting to see your good show. The fishing boat left safely and returned to the side of the few women who disembarked early and sat in the boat. They were also startled by the sudden appearance of the Luanfeng Sky mothership. Girl, let's stay away. Lao Lu pulled his daughter-in-law onto the fishing boat and put away the boat. Then, what is that? Aliens? Why is the ship flying in the sky? And it's still so big. Old Lu laughed loudly and said, That's our warship. The fishermen quickly evacuated in their boats. From time to time, He looked back at the huge monster pressing on the head of the Neon Nation warship. A big ship with 200 floors, flying in the sky. Suddenly, the entire sea area became blurred. The color twisted and swayed, and then disappeared in an instant. It seems that the battleships of the Neon Kingdom and the huge Luanfeng space carrier have never appeared there. F***K. Why is the ship set up? Lao Lu and the others were stunned for a moment, and the warship that could be seen just now suddenly disappeared again. Did you forget that our battleship can be invisible? It's so shocking. It's even more shocking from the outside. Yibai expanded the proton shield to cover the sea area around the Hongwu warship, then activated the mimic stealth and disappeared together with the warships of the Neon Kingdom. What a great testing tool. Yibai looked at the 6 neon warships with cold eyes. General, our fishing boat has appeared again. The radar soldier's tone was excited, and he confirmed several times that it was Yinhuang UNU 81192. The fishing boat has signal again. That's great. Diyu excitedly said, hurry up, keep going at full speed. Go find our fishermen first. We have to ensure their safety. However, there is still no signal from the Neon Nation warship. Diyu sneered, don't care about them. Bai Yin also knew that the radar signal of the fishing boat was back, so he immediately contacted Diyu. Diyu, you should contact the fishermen first, protect them, and then investigate the matter of the Neon Nation's warship. In Bai Yan's heart, the people are more important. Diyu nodded and said, no problem, I'm on my way to pick up the fishermen. On the other side, Dao's, who had been standing still, also learned that the radar signal of the Yinhuang fishing boat had appeared again. Dales reconfirmed and asked, Neon Nation's warship still hasn't responded? Jack nodded, that's right, there is no ship radar signal, and there is no radio signal. Dales frowned and looked at Bend Island. Go! Let the fleet go to the place where the Neon Nation's warship disappeared. The Eagle Sauce First Fleet set sail again, but turned around. Bai Yin got the news immediately, and the number 3 aircraft carrier battle group also followed. Baga, you guys, you let me go. I am the general of the Neon Nation. If you dare to touch me, you are declaring war on our Neon Nation. Inobi Yeha yelled at the Luanfeng Sky Mothership above his head. Yi Bai's voice spread through the Luanfeng Sky Mothership. I'm hitting people from your Neon Kingdom. Yes, it was you who hit. Yinhuang Country's fishing boats are also your little Neon Country's power?
Goride. Bah.
Everyone on the deck cursed. Inobi Inoko couldn't understand Yinhuang, so he asked the translator next to him. The translator was stunned. He hadn't recovered from the gasification of Xiaogue Hidaka. He tremblingly said, they said, is going to hit us? The soldiers on the surrounding neon warships are like ants on a hot pot at this moment. I want to escape but dare not, but I don't know what's going on. Inobi Inoko looked at the Luanfeng space carrier with a huge gap. This kind of technology was beyond his imagination, and they would never be able to beat it. Even Eagle Sauce doesn't have this kind of technology. Since he couldn't beat him, he could only admit defeat for the time being. He gritted his teeth and bowed his head unwillingly. I was wrong. Please let us go. We are the warships of the Neon Kingdom after all. Yibai could clearly see his expression through the projection. Yibai snorted coldly, ignored his begging for mercy, and contacted Lu Shogwa directly. Boss, the 6 warships of the Neon Kingdom are in my hands now. Can I deal with them? Knowing what happened to Lan Hai, Lu Shogwa was a little surprised. It turned out that the warship of the Neon Kingdom was at Yibai. The disappearance of the radar signals of warships and fishing boats before that is also Yibai's masterpiece. Thinking of this, Lu Shogwa nodded in understanding, and only Yibai has this kind of technology, which can make it invisible to all radars. He said in a deep voice, it's up to you. If the Neon Country dares to make trouble, we will stand up for you. The country will support you. He was also full of fire. If Yibai hadn't appeared in time, they would not be able to save the fire near the water, and those fishermen would definitely be injured or even the boat crashed. It's too long for this group of neon people to dare to touch the fishermen of Yinhuang by relying on the Eagle Sauce. Yibai received the instruction and smiled slightly. Understood, then I can have fun. After hanging up, Lu Shogwa immediately notified Bai Yin, who immediately smiled and felt relieved when he learned that Yi Bai had captured the Neon Nation warship. Looks like the fishermen are all right. Inobi No waited nervously for a reply, but the other party did not speak, and he did not dare to move. After a long time, the soldiers of the Neon Kingdom were almost crushed by such a depressing atmosphere. Suddenly, the Luanfeng Sky mothership in the sky put away all its guns and slowly landed on the sea. All of a sudden, a big wave surged towards the surroundings, and the warship of the Neon Kingdom that hit it instantly was staggered and almost overturned. The 4,000-ton amphibious landing ship is as small as an ant in front of the 200,000-ton Luanfeng space carrier. The difference in displacement is a full 50 times. If according to the no-load condition, that is 100 times difference. Inobi Inoko looked at this warship with a huge difference in size, and he no longer had the slightest thought of resistance in his heart. Activate the EMP electromagnetic protection field with a range of 100 kilometers. Yi Bai voice control. The EMP electromagnetic field can defend against all electronically guided weapons and completely disable all electronic equipment. EMP electromagnetic field opens. Immediately, a blue beam of light shot out from the launch tower on the island of the Luanfeng Sky mothership. The blue beam of light shot up into the sky and then instantly spread around, quickly covering a range of 100 kilometers around. EMP electromagnetic field start completed, range 100 kilometers. The soldiers on the Neon fleet looked at all this blankly. They had never seen this kind of thing before, and they had no idea what it was. Constrict the proton shield, cancel the mimic stealth. The proton shield is closed, and the mimic stealth is closed. Immediately, Yi Bai's Luanfeng space carrier and the warships of the Neon Kingdom reappeared, but the radar signals were still blocked by the EMP electromagnetic field. Activate intelligent identification. EMP electromagnetic field only allows Yanhuang country ships to import and export and rejects any other ships. Smart recognition has been activated. After Yi Bai finished everything, he said through the Luanfeng Sky mothership, "I will give you 10 minutes to escape. I will not chase. I will attack here in 10 minutes. If you escape, then congratulations. If not, then I can only wish you luck," and the clock starts. The translator immediately told Yi Bai what Yi Bai said. Inobi Yeha yelled hysterically, "You can't attack me. I am the general of the Neon Kingdom. Are you Yanhuang really going to war? Escape. The gap is so big. How can you escape?" Yi Bai's eyes flashed brightly. "If you want to fight, then fight. 10 seconds have passed, and there is not much time left for you to escape. Just now this group of people laughed and mocked our fishing boats. Now let them have a taste of it too." Inobi Yeha's face was extremely ugly. He gritted his teeth and stared at the Luanfeng Sky mothership resentfully. "Baga, all the warships are scattered. Return home as fast as possible, fast." The soldiers immediately obeyed the order and started to flee at the fastest speed. They didn't want to be here for a long time. Horrible. Inobi Inohi said in a low voice unwillingly, "Baga, sooner or later I will find my place." These words were still captured by the mothership, and Yi Bai heard it clearly. "You have to have a chance, of course. You can also attack me. Try it." He just wanted to use the Neon fleet to test the performance of the Luanfeng space carrier. A cold light flashed in Jinghe Yeha's eyes when he heard the words, "If they really can't escape, they will die, and their warships are not just paper. Run. Let you play with our fishing boat just now? Now let's see where you run. Haha, we built this battleship together. We know its performance too well. There is no place on this earth where you can escape." Asking for flowers. I'm looking forward to what expressions these bastards will have in a while. You must not beg for mercy, because we will not let you go, haha. Everyone on the deck felt very relieved. It's so cool that Yi Bai treats his own body with his own way. Let this group of people also taste the feeling of being teased. 5 minutes later, Inobi Inoko looked at the Luanfeng Sky mothership that was in place. Although it hadn't moved, it felt very oppressive. Yanhuang Kingdom's technology has reached this level. They have already run more than 10 kilometers, but they can still clearly see the pair of giant ships. 8 minutes later, Yi Bai's weapon said coldly, "Activate the shipboard cation cannon." He was looking forward to the expression of that neon man, knowing that he would attack in advance. The shipboard cation cannon is activated, complete. I saw a cannon port opened on the hull of the Wanfeng Sky mothership. The blue electric arcs on the 3 guide rails surged wildly again, and a huge energy gathered. Target, the frigate number 9527 of the Neon State. The energy is set to dissipate automatically at 100 kilometers. 0. The target has been locked, and the energy setting is successful. Yi Bai's eyes turned cold, and he directly pressed the launch button. Suddenly, a burst of energy sounded, and a blue beam of light rushed towards a frigate of the Dianhong Kingdom in the distance. The powerful cation energy beam leaves a deep groove on the sea surface.
Make big waves.
A loud noise spread from a distance. The frigate exploded instantly, and the sky was filled with flames. The part of the frigate hit by the cation cannon directly disappeared, and then the remaining part of the battleship exploded. The cationic light beam dissipates by itself after shooting 100 kilometers. Baga, what kind of weapon is that? Inobi no watched in horror as his battleship was destroyed in the distance. He has never seen such an attack. Is that still the technology that the Earth can create now? These 10 minutes were too fast. He didn't feel like he ran very far. Damn Yinhuang people, it's only 8 minutes of special code? He roared angrily at the Wanfeng Sky mothership. Damn it, 999. 6 turned over. This power is too strong. Haha, it's so cool to kill one directly. Kill all the little neon mad. Tion smash them. Everyone looked excitedly at the explosion in the distance, relieved. Seeing this power, Yi Bai nodded, as expected, but this energy setting is very good. The positive ion cannon is not restricted by the gravity of the blue star at all, so it is very suitable to attack the ground from the sky or hit the sky from the ground. But if you shoot it horizontally, with its range, it will eventually hit the space doctor. It's not over yet. Yi Bai continues to test new weapons. Start the heavy electronic cannon, 2 rounds. The targets are the frigates with hull numbers 10,086 and 1000, one of the Neon Kingdom. The heavy electron cannon is activated. The cation cannon on the hull was retracted, and the cannon, which was shaped like an octopus and composed of 8 charged metal rods, stretched out. Starting complete, a shell is ready. A violent electric current suddenly appeared at the muzzle, forming a white lightning ball. The center is dense plasma-like substance, and the outside is wrapped with a layer of grid that responds violently. Yi Bai lightly presses the launch button. After the first round of heavy electron shells was sent out, the second round followed. 2 heavy electron shells galloped across the sea. The soldiers on the 2 Neon Country frigates saw the artillery shells coming towards them and quickly controlled the warships to turn. Baga, hurry up, turn around quickly. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. It's too late. Slow down and let it pass. Baga, damn it, fight them. Fire the main gun. The soldiers were in chaos. They witnessed a person being gasified and a frigate being instantly destroyed. They have no way to resist such an attack. Someone turned the cannon angrily and fired at the Wanfeng Sky carrier. There was a bang. A cannonball was fired from the gun barrel at a very high speed, just hitting the heavy electron cannonball. With a bang, the shell was directly detonated. The heavy electron shells passed through in an instant and hit the frigate. There was a violent electric explosion. The violent electric current exploded instantly, expanded, and swallowed the entire frigate directly. Then the almost substantial plasma in the center of the heavy electron shell exploded. Boom! A deafening explosion sounded suddenly. The berserk white plasma, 733, soared into the sky crazily and was stopped in the electromagnetic field of EMP. The powerful shock wave directly creates a layer of huge waves on the sea surface. The same was followed by another frigate. 2 violent explosions rang out in the surrounding sea area. 2 huge waves with a height of 20 meters rushed towards the surroundings. When the berserk current dissipated, the 2 frigates had already turned into wreckage, completely shattered by the bombing. The soldiers on the frigate were also gasified. The soldiers on the remaining warships of the Neon Kingdom stared at all this in astonishment. Even if this shot is going to destroy an aircraft carrier. Escape, if you can't escape, how can you fight like this? It's too scary. Yehajun, please beg them. Yinhuang people are very kind. Please don't kill us. Don't they want to rise peacefully? I don't want to die here. Absolutely don't die here. Some soldiers had completely collapsed. Some were frightened and limp on the ground, leaving a stench on the ground, and some had a fishy smell from their bodies. Some jumped directly from the boat, but in this vast sea, jumping down is waiting to die. Inobi Inohi was holding on to the fence tightly. The soldiers had already lost their fighting spirit, and now they all collapsed. He has no way out. Everyone on the Wanfeng Sky mothership cheered when they saw 2 more frigates being blown up. Haha, this is the heavy electron cannon I participated in building. It doesn't work. Bull brother. 1 shot into the soul. It's too strong. This picture is too exciting. It's like wanting to destroy the world. The power of thunder is so terrifying. This shot can definitely sink an aircraft carrier. It is almost impossible to sink an aircraft carrier. That would require a lot of anti-ship missiles to be possible. Even Yinhuang's aircraft carrier killer missiles would need several rounds to paralyze an aircraft carrier. Paralyzed, not sunk. But everyone has no doubt about the power of the heavy electron cannon just now. If you can't run away, kill it. Fight back. We are the citizens of the Neon Kingdom. We are not allowed to escape. Anyone who dares to escape will be killed. All return to the combat position and activate the missiles. Inobi took out his pistol and roared. He returned to the command room and issued an order. All fighters take off. Hit me. Hit with the fiercest firepower. Anyone who dares to escape will be shot immediately. Those who still had some combat power left quickly obeyed orders. The 2 frigates quickly opened the vertical launch units. Springfield 1573 anti-ship missiles are ready. Chunfeng 1314 anti-ship missile is ready. Inobi Inohi roared, launch. After the missiles lifted off from the launch unit, they rushed directly to the Wanfeng space carrier. Feidian number 1 has taken off. Fertilizer number 2 has been launched. Fat Electric number 3. All the F-35BS on the helicopter carrier also took off and flew towards the Wanfeng space carrier. One after another airborne anti-ship missiles were also launched. More than a dozen missiles rushed towards Yibai's battleship with long tail flames. Baga, blow you to death, Baga, ha ha ha. Inobi Yeha roared, and all the soldiers of the Neon Kingdom looked at those missiles expectantly. Himph, stop running. EMP shockwave is ready. Yibai looked at the incoming missiles in the projection with disdain. EMP shockwave is ready. I saw another layer of blue light curtain surrounding the hull of the Wanfeng Sky mothership on the island. Range, 100 kilometers launch. Hum. Like a shock wave, a layer of blue light curtain quickly spread around, sweeping away the incoming anti-ship missiles in an instant. Immediately, all the electronic components in the missile were short-circuited. It's like setting off fireworks. Boom, boom, boom. A series of explosions sounded. All anti-ship missiles detonated in mid-air. When the EMP shock wave swept over the F-35B fighter jet in the Neon Country, all the electronic equipment on the plane failed, and short-circuit sparks and small explosions appeared. Feidia number 1 report. The plane is out of control. The plane is out of control. Feidia number 2 is also out of control. The engine stops, and all equipment fails. We're going to crash, Baga. All the planes fell into the sea like dumplings, and then exploded. Some planes even had missiles mounted on them, and even exploded directly, destroying the plane together. This is the EMP shockwave I participated in building. It is a system with the EMP electromagnetic field. Haha, it's amazing. This is too strong, right? Directly rejecting all missile attacks. I am afraid that as long as it is an electronic device, it will instantly fail and explode. Yes, this is the power of EMP. In fact, according to the function, The current EMP electromagnetic field is a huge shield. It is different from the proton shield. It will only cause damage and prevent electronic equipment. If any one of these technologies is taken out alone, it can become a treasure of the town. Inobi Noko watched as the blue light curtain swept past his own missiles and fighter planes in the distance. The missile exploded in an instant, and the fighter planes also crashed one after another. Completely ashamed. I can't fight anymore. The strength gap is too big. He slumped to the ground like a deflated ball. At this time, the EMP shock wave just swept over their battleship. The sound of short-circuiting and small explosions continued to be heard, and the entire electronic system of the battleship was also destroyed. A soldier suddenly went crazy, roared and rushed outside, operating the main gun to shoot continuously at the Luanfeng space carrier. The main gun of this battleship has no electronic equipment, which is similar to the main gun of a tank. Aim without electronics. Cannonballs bombarded the Luanfeng sky carrier in a parabola. The people on the other two battleships also quickly fired their main guns. Start the automatic interception system. Yibai gave instructions calmly, and the intelligence system responded immediately. The automatic interception system is activated. Everyone on the deck immediately saw a circular hole quickly opened on the hull facing the shell attack. Zizizi. Bunches of focused lasers shoot out instantly, accurately and quickly intercepting all incoming shells. In the command room, the radar quickly locked on the shells. There was another series of explosions, and all shells were intercepted. Not a single fish slipped through the net. Seeing that all methods were ineffective, the soldiers of the Neon Kingdom stopped resisting and waited to be judged. Inobi Inohi suddenly shouted, "The Neon Kingdom will not let you go." Yibai curled his lips, lost interest in playing, and shook his head. "It's too weak. I can't test it to my heart's content. Let's end it." The cation cannon on the Luanfeng Sky mothership also has an anti-city mode, and its power has been increased by dozens of times, but it cannot be tested. The protective capabilities of phase armor and proton shield were also not tested, etc. 3 rounds of heavy electronic cannons. Let's deal with the rest of the enemies. Yibai gave the final order blankly. 3 terrifying plasma balls rushed towards the remaining neon warships. No accident, the last 3 warships were all blown to pieces, and even those who jumped into the sea were all electrocuted to death. Take back the EMP electromagnetic field and activate the mimic stealth. In an instant, the blue beam of light on the signal tower disappeared, and the blue light curtain covering the surrounding 100 kilometers disappeared. The Luanfeng Sky mothership also disappeared from the sea. It's so cool, haha. 3.0 is completely wiped out. It's great to go out for a walk with Academician Yi this time. Life is fulfilled. Himph. Let the countries that still want to bully us take a good look. This is the end. Yibai controls the Luanfeng sky carrier to relaunch and fly into the sky. After a while, Duyu's fleet arrived near Kirishima, where peace has been completely restored. There are a large number of warship fragments floating on the sea, and no one survives. Dead. Duyu gasped. What did Yibai do? He destroyed the battleship to such an extent. He looked at the fragments on the sea in disbelief. How much equivalent bombs would be needed to blow up a 1,000-ton battleship into such small pieces? And what is that blue light curtain and white lightning column? He saw the effects of the EMP electromagnetic field opened by Yibai and the heavy electron cannon bombardment in the distance. He has been in the army for decades, and he has never seen such a thing. Reporting to the chief, the Neon fleet was completely wiped out. Yes, it was bombed and shattered, but Yibai was not seen. At this time, the first fleet of Inleys also appeared far away on the sea level. Dales saw Duyu's fleet from a distance. Fark, what is that blue light curtain and lightning bolts just now? Although it was far away, he still saw the huge light curtain and the lightning cluster connecting the sky and the earth. He had never seen that scene before, just like watching a movie. Jack took out the binoculars, looked carefully for a long time and shook his head. I don't know, there is nothing over there, but there seems to be something floating on the sea. Dales took the telescope, but found nothing. How about the Neon Nation's fleet? Why isn't there even a shadow? It's so close, And the radar still doesn't have their signal? Jack frowned and shook his head. No. Keep going, Dales ordered. Suddenly, he felt a faint sense of oppression above his head, but he looked up, but saw nothing. He frowned tightly, always feeling something was wrong. When the first fleet arrived near Kirishima, Darth saw the debris of the battleship floating in the sea. Fack, is this a piece of war? He looked at the debris on the sea in disbelief. Is this blown up by a nuclear bomb? How could it be blown up like this? It is impossible for anti-ship missiles to blow up a warship, and there will always be some relatively complete or relatively large wreckage. But now all the debris floating on the sea surface is very uniform. It shows that the power of the explosion is huge and the energy is very concentrated. Jack also stared at 22 eyes. Fack, we haven't detected any missile warning. All the soldiers in the first fleet looked at it in disbelief. It was beyond their comprehension. Darth looked at the Dua fleet not far away. Could it be that the Yanhuang kingdom did it? Jack said in a deep voice for a while. Impossible. They don't have such a big killer at all. And even if they launch it, we should have an early warning. It is impossible that there is no reaction at all. Dals nodded subconsciously. None of them, Ying Jiang, had such weapons. Although the missiles of the Yanhuang kingdom were very strong, the weapons of the most powerful countries were not much different in power. And they should have just arrived, a little earlier than me. At this time, they all thought of the light curtain and lightning they saw just now. Suddenly, Dal saw a piece of hull debris with a neon plaster flag floating on the sea, and hurriedly said, "Retreat. This place is too dangerous." The first fleet immediately turned around and retreated. On Duyu's battleship, he saw Dale's retreat. They should be quiet for a while now. Duyu put away the binoculars and looked at the debris on the sea. What kind of weapon did Academician Yi develop to blow up the battleship like this, and without any radar warning? Could it be those lightning bolts? It thought of the lightning that resembled the power of the sky. Like the fury of thunder, it was the power of nature. Have you found the warship of the Neon Kingdom? At this time, Bai Yan's voice came from the capsule phone. Duyu nodded. I found it, but there are only pieces of wreckage. Bai Yan was silent for a while and then said, Xiaoya has made another terrifying piece of equipment. You will know when it is announced. Come back first. I see on the radar, Darth's fleet has also evacuated. I am afraid it will be very quiet recently. Duyu nodded and commanded the fleet to go back. Carrier number 03 continued to accompany Dalla's first fleet. Bai Yan stroked his chin and thought, now that the fleet of the Neon Nation is completely wiped out, no one has seen Xiaoya, and there is no warning, and we don't even know who did it. The Neon Nation may be in chaos. The new prime minister is not good. Oda broke into the residence of Chushing Yamamoto and happened to see something he shouldn't have seen, but he didn't have time to avoid suspicion. Mr. Dal said that Nogakuin's fleet has been completely wiped out. What? Chushing Yamamoto stopped, looked at Oda in disbelief, and his daughter-in-law quickly backed out. He tidied up his clothes and asked solemnly, I want to go through it in detail. Oda immediately said, at the beginning, Nokuin's fleet went smoothly, completely according to your plan, and went to Hiroshima very smoothly, but halfway encountered some fishing boats from the Yanhuang kingdom. In fact, it doesn't matter. Nokuin is very smart and stimulates them, let them shoot first, then counter with water guns. But suddenly the radar signals of Yi Hejuan's fleet and Yanhuang kingdom's fishing boats disappeared. Hearing this, the first student Yamamoto said in surprise, suddenly disappeared? How is it possible? Oda nodded vigorously. Yes, it really disappeared. All radars couldn't find it, including Mr. Dale's fleet, and they couldn't find it either. But after a while, the fishing boats from Yanhuang Kingdom appeared again, and then their fishing boats left, but Yehijan's fleet still had no signal. Just now, Darth's fleet went to check the situation and found that Yehijan's fleet was completely destroyed. Smash! Chushing Yamamoto slapped the table vigorously. Baga! Who did it? How dare you move the army of my great Neon Kingdom? Xiaotian shook his head. I don't know. Darth didn't see the enemy. There were only fishing boats from the Yanhuang Kingdom at the scene, and neither Darth nor our radar received any warning of Yanhuang's missile launch. Chushing Yamamoto said angrily, check it out for me. What combat power do those fishing boats have? Could it be that our fleet can explode by itself? Oda nodded immediately. Hi. That was Eagle Sauce's nuclear-powered aircraft carrier just now. It doesn't look too big now. Haha, compared with ours, it's indeed 100 million points smaller. With the Luanfeng space carrier, this ocean, no, the overlord of this world should also be replaced. Yibai controlled the Luanfeng aerospace carrier back to the Jiangnan shipyard, put everyone on board, and stepped off the carrier himself. After the soldiers pulled up the sky again, they turned off Luanfeng's mimic invisibility. Everyone looked at this invincible giant ship with admiration, which easily destroyed the fleet of the Neon Kingdom just now. Very well, I know your record. Lu Shogwa came to Jiangnan shipyard early, and when he saw Yibai, he hurried over and said, well done. Yibai said with a smile, this is the result of everyone's joint efforts. Otherwise, it would have taken me a long time to build such a large warship by myself. Lu Shogwa was slightly taken aback when he heard the words, not because Yibai was modest, but because Yibai was too immodest. He meant that he could build an empty space carrier by himself, but it took a little longer. This guy is a freak genius. Lu Shogwa pursed his lips and forced a smile. Everyone will be rewarded this time. Everyone is very happy. The busy months are worth it. He continued to ask, the Luanfeng space carrier should have been completed by now. Yibai nodded. There are still some small components that I can handle, and I don't need so many people anymore. Lu Shogwa nodded, turned around and said to all the researchers and engineers, go back and clean up. It's almost Chinese New Year. You can go home. Haha, I can go. I am a little bit reluctant. You are single, so you must be reluctant. I have to go back and hug my wife. The Chinese New Year is less than half a month away. So lucky, there is still a holiday. There is no holiday in the army, and you are always on the post of defending the motherland. Participating in the construction of the Luanfeng space carrier this time even gave them annual leave. Chief, let's go back first. The crowd dispersed excitedly. They hadn't been back for a long time. They were homesick, and the Chinese New Year was coming soon. This was a special day for Yanhuang people. Yibai also wants to go back. By the way, you may have to go back later this year. Lu 987 Shogwa suddenly said to Yibai, there is a special part in the New Year's Eve party, and I need you to participate. Yibai scratched his head. Okay, but I have to give me a holiday after the next year. Lu Shogwa laughed and said, don't worry, I will supply you after the new year. Just in time before the Chinese New Year, you can staff the Luanfeng sky carrier, and you can talk about any shipboard equipment you need. Yibai thought for a while. It doesn't need much. The Luanfeng aerospace carrier has a high degree of automation and is very intelligent. I just need to train a group of operators. As for the shipboard equipment, I can give me a few maglev tanks from the chief military region. Let's modify it a little bit. The Yongyan anti-gravity fighters of the Beiyang military region can be deployed on the space carrier first, so that the comprehensive combat power can directly push the world. When Lu Shogwa heard that Yibai was going to modify his maglev tank, his heart skipped a beat. None of the equipment Yibai has built so far is ordinary. If the magnetic levitation tank is modified for him, then it can't take off directly. Lu Shogwa nodded vigorously. No problem, this will trouble you. I will send the tank as soon as possible, and the Yanlong Special Forces will also be stationed on it, so that all the strongest forces of Yanhuang will be matched to create a Blue Star's strongest battleship. Yibai smiled and said, no trouble. In fact, the current Luanfeng space carrier is also the strongest. If it is equipped with the Yongyuan anti-gravity fighter and the magnetic levitation tank he modified, the combat effectiveness will be even stronger. Some of the staffing needed on the battleship probably includes logistics troops, responsible for food and the ecosystem on the mothership, breeding and planting, etc., engineers, and some combatants in charge of daily warship maintenance. But there is no need for Yibai to worry about these. Just leave it to Lu Shogwa. He only needs to be in charge of the control team in the training room. He is a researcher, so he can't take people to war. I'll go back and make arrangements now.
Thank you for watching Mystic Realms Recap. Please like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.